Sunset skies, trade winds flow, stories, laughs, and island glow. It's the Gavin Ramon Show. Oh, it's the Gavin Ramon Show. Sunset skies, trade winds flow, stories, laughs, and island glow. It's the Gavin Ramon Show. Let's go out to the world and to the school. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Oi, 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 oi. I didn't put any shorts on and I want to go and get a drink. How are we going to get out of this? This could be interesting. Just stay there. No peeking. Oh, should we go? There we go. Go with a pair of these. You've got to have something on. Now, that's the thing, isn't it? Because sometimes you think to yourself, they're only going to see the top half. They're not going to see the bottom half, are they? Whee! Leave it out. 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 What's going on, ladies and gents? How you all doing? This wonderful, glorious day that is Wednesday, the 19th of August. I know that. Right, so let's just move a few bits and bobs out of the way. I'm doing good, thank you, mate. Let's see. Thank you, Rex. How you doing? I thought it'd be a bit more interactive today. Gorgeous. I don't know about that. Homeless looking, yeah. Seen better days, yeah. Gorgeous, yeah. I doubt that very much. How you doing as well, Nicky? You good? And how is MSS? Are you keeping well, Spartan? Ben, who I'm sure will be here at some point, he's probably chilling with his dog right now or brushing his beard, or did he shave? I think he had a shave, didn't he? All right, so today we're going to just be going through loads of videos that are out today and being more casual and chilled so us lot can all catch up properly and chinwag and waffle and all of that nonsense. Oh, there you go. Don't worry, chicken curry. I get what you was doing there. You was doing like a rhyme thing. A rhyme, like, don't worry, chicken curry. I've got one for you. You're barely surviving. I know that feeling, MSS. I know that feeling. Right, I've got a couple for you. Ready? If a woman is always right, because we've always heard these, these debates, yeah, that women are always right. Let's just say me and Nikki were married. Let's just say me and Nikki were married, right? She's the woman. I'm obviously the man. Debatable. But she's always right because she's a woman. She's always right. Then one day we get into an argument and it gets really heated, and Nikki, when she gets mad, because we're married now, when she gets mad, she just has this thing where she takes off her boxer shorts and throws them. Now, the thing is, when she done it, she goes, I'm right to do that. And I went, you know what? I'm going to agree with you this time. You are right. Now, do you see the contradiction and the problem there? And this is what I need your help with. If a woman is always right and the man is always wrong, if the man tells the woman that she is right, but he's always wrong, does that mean she's wrong? Think about it. These are the things that ponder my brain. No, these are the things that I think about. Hello, kids. How you doing? Oh, yeah, chicken curry, Rex, Mr. Rex. No, but I'm just saying, like, was Eve right to bite the apple? I'd rather her bite the apple than something else. I'll be completely honest with you. UK lady says it's got to be give and take. So if I give, you're going to take. Hey, it's been a long time, but I am looking for a woman, and I know the dating pool when you get to my age really, really shrinks. I'm so glad I pointed that out to myself. You know, single life has its good measures, though. Single life is wonderful, I would say, because, you know, I've got everything I want in the world, genuinely, in life, in terms of stability and me being okay. I would say I've got everything that I ever need. Not mentally, but stability is in friends, family, you know, as well as it can be, you know, as well as it can be. The only thing that's missing in my life, I would say, is that significant other, that spark, that woman that makes my soul glow, you know? You know that feeling you had when you're sort of 14, 15, and you see that girl at school, or when you go to the nightclubs when you're 19 and 20, and you see that girl or boy every week, but you always see him at the bar or something, but you don't have the guts to go and say something. There's only one of those I regret. There's only one of those that I regret. There was this girl, and I don't know, I'll never, never know her name. I'll never know what happened to her. But there was a club where I used to DJ when I was younger, in a place called, it was in East London, and it was a place called, it was Seven Kings was the area. The club was called the Shannon. And there was a young woman in there, and I see her every week. She wasn't English white. She was, I don't know, like mixed. I wouldn't say Indian. I wouldn't say black. She was mixed something, because she was light skinned. And I thought she was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And I remember her as well. I remember her as well. And even as the DJ, I didn't have the balls to go up and talk to her. The only time I actually went and spoke to her, I completely fumbled it. And it's probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made. And I remember what happened. I always used to, like, my mates would be like, oh, that girl's here. Oh, that girl was here, because they knew that I liked her. And I remember she had black hair to her shoulders, bit chunky, because I like them a bit bigger. I like my fuller type woman, you know. I don't like my hamburger with nothing in it. I like the full package. I like the whole lot. And I said to my mates, this is it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I remember going up to her, and I did the one where you're like, oh, one of my mates likes you. And she knew it was me. She knew it was me, because every week I was like, you know what I mean? She knew it was me. I completely fumbled it, and I just walked away, like, just quit while you're ahead. So yeah, it's saucy. Oh, I'd love it, a bit of saucy, all those pulsating hormones. Oh, imagine. But anyway, I just thought I'd be a bit more open with you and talk about a few things. And yeah, but yeah, it's. I think the thing we can take from that is, when you see someone that you like, just go and say something. I think when you like someone, or you're attracted to someone, go and say something, because you never know. You never know. Well, it hasn't worked for me, has it? It hasn't worked for me, but you never can tell. There may just be a gremlin in your closet. That's Gremlins, by the way. Big tune, big theme song, great movie. Right, let's get into our first video, because that's why you're here. You're not here to see me act like a complete moron. You've had that part. You had that part now? Good. I'm glad we've sorted that. Right, okay. What are we doing there? Do we want that one? Do we want... Let's go for something like that. That'll do, won't it? Right. Are we good? Let's just double check I can hear it.
Listen,
I am here.
I believe that our country is a deprived state. Bristol's...
Yeah, I can hear it. That's a good thing. Yes. Hello, Ben. They don't make music like that anymore. Take the word of advice from Dr. Pepper. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, chubby is necessary as well. Why does he get handsome Ben? Like, he gets handsome Ben. I've seen Evil Dead Burn. Yes, of course I've seen. Come on. You're talking about me, Mr. Horror Fanatic. Of course I've seen it. We can talk about it in a minute if you want. I don't think you're going to like my input, but I'll give you it. I'll give it to you, UK lady. I will give it to you exactly how you want it. No, because then that's a bit perverted to say that. You shouldn't talk to women like that anyway. I think it's disgusting. You know, you should never ever talk to a woman like that. Right, okay, so here we go with our first video, and well, you are handsome, I know. Did you guys see the article that had been promoting cannibalism? New York Times. No, Rex, find it, and we'll do that after this first video. Yeah, mate, I'm a bit hungry, so that's a good idea. Right, can I? Please? Can I? Right, let's go. Oh, I should introduce it,
Listen,
innit? So yeah, young Bob is debating with some people here, as he always does, and an activist comes along and it gets really out of hand. Hang on a second. You thought Evil Dead Burn, is that the new one? You found that terrifying? Honestly, if that scared you, you want to see me with no clothes on?
I believe that our country is a deprived state. Bristol's a fantastic example. When you have leftism, progressivism and wokeism in a vacuum, you see the natural progression of this terrible ideology that's never worked.
This is natural progression?
I think this ideology is unnatural and it hasn't worked in anywhere on the face of the planet.
So how would that work? How would that work?
Fantastic, thank you. Pardon?
How would that work then? Natural progression, how does that work in your view? In your eyes, because you are obviously the one that has been sent by God. How does it work in your eyes, natural progression?
Listen, I've never claimed to be a prophet. I'm just
You seem to be out here prophesying.
No.
This guy's really pathetic. I think he's drunk, but it's really embarrassing that a grown man would go and speak to someone his age like that, because he just makes a complete idiot of himself.
How does it work in your eyes, natural progression?
Listen, I've never claimed to be a prophet. I'm just
You seem to be out here prophesying.
Start singing.
Come on.
All right, so I think that wokeism has never worked and never
What is
worked.
wokeism? Can I explain that?
Okay,
Do you even know what it means?
Wokeism is to be awake. It believes that this country has historical and ancestral guilt.
That's not what it says. No,
That
no.
is.
What is wokeism? Not this country. You
To
brought
be
this country
awake.
into it. To be awake.
Yeah.
This guy's
To
such a
awake to
fool,
what are
isn't
we
he?
being awakened to today?
Well, according to the wokeism ideology, it teaches that we have to we have to pay the consequences of the actions of our ancestors.
yeah, we have to pay the consequences of what we do today. And
Yeah,
our
today, but not generations
Our ancestors have sent us here to be how we are now, right now. No, right?
My friend, I don't think that sentence even was grammatically made sense.
No, I don't think most of the sentences that you've been speaking for the last 2.5, 3 hours make much sense.
Well, maybe a few stellars down, I'd come to the same conclusion.
So get one of your big men that are standing around you to talk. Are you the one that's got autism?
It's really embarrassing, isn't it? This is a grown man going here to it turns into threats, and it's always the same with the left, isn't it?
And can speak all the vocabulary. Get one of these big men that are standing there speaking around you. Get them to talk. Or they're just a bodyguard for you. Who the fuck are you?
This is the problem, and this is exactly what happens with the left, and that's what they put as the picture of what they claim the right are. They claim this is the right, but no, it is there in black and white. You can see it.
You just sat
It's
there.
embarrassing.
Get one of your big boys to sit down and talk. Am I wrong? Not wrong, am I? Sit down and talk. No? Or can you not talk?
Well,
And then you
unfortunately,
talk. Take his seat. There you go, big man. You're the one on the mic.
hold on. Unfortunately,
And then that's a British thing. So for those that are not English watching this, that whole thing when you go, "Oi, big man," that's kind of a threatening thing in this country. When you do that, it's because I do it. Were you saying, big man? It's
No? Or can you not talk?
well,
And then you
unfortunately,
talk. Take his seat. There you go, big man. You're the one on the mic.
hold on. Unfortunately, some people have bronze and some people have brains. You don't have either.
nice.
But who the fuck do you think you are, Eminem?
No.
Yeah?
You took that well. Fair play.
No, it's basic fact, right? So I can easily say that I'm not strong. I need these men here, but I'm smart. You don't have brains or bronze.
Smart. Intelligence is not something that you have got, my friend.
Well, it is. He just did. He just made a fool of you, and you had to laugh and back down. So I completely disagree on that one.
But oh no, you will
That's
find
funny.
it
That's funny.
When?
on the day. You know,
Yep, nice one, Rex. Gotcha,
God
baby.
will judge me on the intelligence.
Yeah, God bless you, my friend. Fuck me. Your life is sad, my mother.
Listen, at least I'm not like drunk and speaking to a young child.
I'm what? I am the one. You have just called me over here to speak to you.
Yes.
So no, it's not that I am not drunk or speaking to a child. If you admit to be a child, I am the one that's come over here, and you've called me to speak to you. All right, and you're a big man. I ain't scared of none of that.
Oh, here we go. I'm not scared of you. Let's step outside. We're already outside. I know where this is going.
To be fair, I'm probably bigger and also taller than you.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, you are a lot bigger than me. You need to stop fucking eating McDonald's.
No, but like I'm also taller than you.
Yeah, you've got bigger boobs than me, definitely. Yeah. Disgusting, man. Oh, you're
I'm all good, man.
So this is what I'm saying. This is a thing of a leftist on full display. This is what you see on all the social media. That's why I wanted to show you guys and just expose it for what it is. It's embarrassing. He's got to be probably the same age as me, maybe older. Like, to go up to someone in public and behave this way is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Pardon?
And all of the students there are probably like, this guy's a hero. Like, can you see the problem? Could you see the problem of who you should be listening to? Or, in my opinion, advocating as a role model or someone to look up to? You've got this guy who's the older gentleman behaving this way, and you've got young Bob just talking to him.
Pardon? I'm a shoplifter.
Do you agree with that?
Bra? You need one.
Oh, hold on.
Meth mouth. Do you think that's what it is?
On thuggery. So we've got the...
Oh, my God. And this is who is in the thumbnail, this person. Oh, God almighty. Do you know what's crazy about this, yeah? I'm angry at the left for this. I'm not being funny, but this street look, this like homeless look, the dreads and all of this stuff, the chain round the neck and all of this, that used to be kind of an emo and pushing towards the goth side of things, the piercings and that. That used to be considered cool. I used to have loads of piercings. I used to have that look. It's been hijacked by the left, and that is the description of it now. And I hate that.
So we got the same person. Hold on. This will be interesting. So, I'll sit back down, but... So importantly, you've got this person here, you made a sly comment about me getting jumped, right? Yeah, now, first of all, I guarantee you, the left, who are full of...
He's drunk, he's obviously drunk as well. What the flip is going on with this lot?
Scrawny, degenerate men could not even try to get into this tent. But they only try to do something against me when I'm by myself. So it proves that the left is scrawny, they're weak, they're pathetic, and their ideology...
Mate, get a grip.
Mate, get a grip. Get a grip. If someone's going to hit you with a baseball bat, just stand there and take it. I mean, they're fucking idiots.
Get a grip, man. You're chatting shit, bro.
I don't mind when I'm attacked, but I think it's absolutely disgusting that areas like Bristol...
He's saying get a grip. I'm telling you straight. If you put this geezer with the glasses on, if you put him in South London or East London and put him walking down an estate with 4 black dudes walking towards him, he would crap himself. I wouldn't. And that's not because I'm a big, strong man, but because I know what it's like out there and I know how to handle myself in those situations and what to do. This is a talker, not a walker.
It's a place for suppression of the right wing that's made for discrimination against right-wingers and has made an incredibly hostile environment for people who are legitimately concerned about the direction of their own country. I think that if you're a right-wing student in Bristol, you're disproportionately oppressed. You have lower you are lower grades due to...
Yeah, you're right.
You don't care about people who are genuinely discriminated.
Shut up, faggot, my God!
Oh, so that's someone who's trans using the slur faggot against someone. But if he'd done that, it would be on the news and he would be probably arrested for it because he's a public figure. Can you see the problem with what's going on in the country? That is a prime example. Didn't even know that bit was coming. I didn't watch this far.
You have lower you are lower grades due to...
Oh, man, no one cares.
No one cares.
You don't care about people who are genuinely discriminated.
Shut up, faggot!
Do you know what I've noticed? To get to the bottom of all of this stuff that's going on in this country and in Europe, I think it's a problem that it's obviously with the universities, the schools, and everything else. But I see it as a problem that none of these students have ever been challenged on anything, on their worldview, on anything, because they're completely surrounded by people who constantly agree with them. Even with you guys, sometimes if I've said something wrong, you'll call me out. You say, no, that's wrong, or you'll correct me on something. And I'm like, cool. Like, I don't think any of these, I guess these are university kids, have ever been challenged. So when they hear someone that says something even remotely out of line with their way of thinking, it turns to violence. No, you can't. No, 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 no. You can't do that. You can't disagree with me. You have to agree with me. And they can't because that's how you wouldn't react this way otherwise. There was a kid I knew when I grew up, and he was a bit similar to this, where you had to let him win at games. You had to agree, or you know what I mean? Otherwise, he would get really, really aggressive. And it's like, you've got problems, mate. And I suppose is it the parents' fault? Is it the problem with how they're raised? Or is it the education system? Because we're seeing this kind of thing more and more from people that are coming out of Cambridge, Oxford. They've got this mindset. It's like they've all, you know what I'm saying? They're all reading from the same book.
Oh, man, no one cares.
No one cares.
You don't care about people
Oh
who
my
genuinely
god, shut
discriminate
up, faggot, my god!
And they say transgender people are not unhinged, and they've not got, and it's not a mental problem, and it doesn't. It's on display fully there.
Hold on, condemn her. She's used that is a homophobic slur, sir. I want you to condemn that. I want the guy with the weird fetishes for locks on his neck to condemn the fact that that woman has used a homophobic slur.
Yeah. But even, see, that's the problem there. Him with the dreads knows what that person said was wrong. I don't care. Like, the term faggot don't mean nothing to me. Faggot, all right, faggot, it's nothing. Like, it's nothing to me. Retard, it's nothing to me. It's just a word. But to the left, they've condemned it as this word as big as using the N-word. It's like this really terrible thing. But he's not going to say it's bad, because if he does, everyone literally would turn on him and get violent towards him. So he won't. I agree with that, Ben. Ben says, should we bring back handling kids when they're being disobedient? Oops, did I say that out loud? I think to an extent, yeah. Yeah. I don't think teachers should be allowed to hit or strike children, but they need to be a hell of a lot more stricter. You know, if you back chat, not in terms of like debate, you can debate and do all of that all you like. But if you get aggressive towards the teacher, you're out, suspended, gone. There's none of this second chances crap, out. But it's the problem is it's the lecturers, the professors, the teachers in the schools, the headmistresses, they've all got this same mindset. That's the problem.
So that tranny over there gave a homophobic slur. She called me a faggot. Yeah, because I don't really care. But do you think it's acceptable to call someone a faggot?
What? That sums it up, doesn't it? Look.
I don't really care. But do you think it's acceptable to call someone a faggot?
I love that. Do you think it's acceptable to call anyone a faggot? What?
Because I don't really care. But do you think it's acceptable to call someone a faggot? Do you think it's acceptable to call someone a faggot?
Really? Why are you talking to me?
Okay, because that person over there, that tranny, called me a faggot.
You called them a slur earlier.
No, I didn't.
You called them a slur earlier.
It's not a slur. Like, what has happened? What has happened to our men in this country? Grow up.
Yeah, she's a tranny. I have no respect for people who steal my equipment.
Yeah, but you don't like that.
What? But what?
Hold on, how am I supposed to respect someone who stole my equipment?
Listen, yeah, but you're attacking them based on like a part of their character they can't change. And
They
that's a whole
can.
other group of
They can
people.
dress up like a man and be a
That's a whole
man.
other group of people as well. Why don't you attack them on individual things that aren't about another group of people that aren't
They're a
affecting you?
degenerate.
What is wrong with these people?
Who stole my equipment?
It's just hateful.
Okay.
It is though, because it isn't normal. That proves that it's part of the education system. Because if you look at it from a percentage point of view, if you look at it from a percentage point of view, if you've got 60 people standing there, right, and they've all gone to sort of debate him, and they're students from that area, they're students from college, university, and they've all come over, and 100% of them think the same way, that's telling you something, because that's not, by probability, it's impossible to do that. If you've got 10 people, one person is always going to make a point and go, no, I disagree with that, but none of them do. It's a collective mindset.
What's more hateful? Committing a crime and then also having internalized transphobia?
Even if you don't like that, you still don't have to come back with hate like that. It's disgusting.
How is it hateful? They are.
It was hateful. Yeah, but it's just rude to call them that.
Okay, it's also rude.
So it only bothers the person when someone on the right does something offensive. And being tranny is not... What?
Transgender if you want, but you don't have to call them that. It's a derogatory term.
I love the left. They can victimise themselves. They can commit a crime, then also at the same breath claim oppression because I said a nasty word.
I just don't think you need to be calling someone.
That's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy, isn't it? And I think that's why they've done what they're doing with Jason Arday. I think when you look at the visual that's done for him, trying to make it like the next George Floyd of the UK, the whole reason they're doing that is to take away the point of the failures of the universities and this DEI nonsense that's happening all over Europe. Because if you completely deny all of it, if you completely walk away, no, none of that matters, none of that matters, it pushes aside the entire reason he was there, and he was pushed to the forefront, and he was clearly not mentally well and took his own life. Who's to blame for that? The people that caught him out, or those that put him in the position? It's the people that put him there. So this praising of Jason Arday at the moment, that's what this is all about. And it's the same here. Doesn't matter if your stuff's been stolen. It doesn't matter if someone violently attacks you. After all of that happened, you said tranny. They're more... you've said that one thing. That counteracts the fact that someone comes at you with a knife or a bat. That's the mentality of the left. It's crazy.
On that. Well, if you want to act like a big man that you think
it's illegal to
speak to people politely.
I think
act like a bigger person. You're not a bigger person.
It's crazy.
Act like a bigger person. It's sad.
Or maybe the left should.
I want to ask a question.
Do you?
I find that strange. I find the whole thing strange, but I'm going to start calling that out more with the lefties because it's bizarre. Right, okay. Sheeple. I like that. Sheeple. Don't think you have, mate. Lied for 30 years plus. Couldn't handle the truth. Who are we talking about? What? Who? Where? Who? Who? What? Where? When? I don't know what you're talking about. He couldn't handle the consequences. Yeah, it's sad. I think... I don't know. This whole left and right debate, I'm yet to see someone who's on the right. You know, when we see these programs and debates, I'm yet to see someone on the right be the one to initialize the first personal insults and getting violent. I'm yet to see that. And on the years we've been doing this, I'm yet to see that. It seems to be always the routine that when you say something to someone on the left they dislike, first it becomes a little dig, a little insult, like we saw in that video against young Bob. Then it becomes violent. Then it becomes, and it's just an outburst because you're not agreeing with me. It's like I'm saying, it's like a child. It's like a child. Hello, species. My goodness. There's a blast from the past. Eh? A blast from the past. Right, let's get into our next one, kids. Our next one is French demand more. French politician tells Brits to hand over more cash to stop migrants. From all of this, I haven't seen any of this, so we're going to watch it together and get into it. I'm sure this is going to go well.
Believe we give too much, we're too attractive with a land that gives more. That's the attraction, because I tell you what, mate, there's a lot of people that think we give too much.
Yeah, we do.
Loads of them.
So I mean, look at what they get. If you are an asylum seeker in an asylum hotel, you get £10 a week, or less actually, it's £9 something.
You don't. You get about, let's work it out, you'd probably get off the top of me head, it's got to be £500 a week. If you're in a hotel as an asylum seeker and they're giving you physical cash £10, you're getting about £500 a week. The hotels are not cheap. A hotel on average in this country, if you're looking in London especially, you're looking at upwards of 100 and 150 quid minimum per day. Then you've got food every day, electricity, water. So you're getting about £500 a week. So you're getting about £2,000 a month plus £40 in cash. You don't have to buy food. You don't have to pay for electricity. You don't have to pay for somewhere to live. What are you complaining about?
A week to pay for your sort of toiletries and essentials. If you're an asylum seeker that's in a self-catering situation, you're given less than £50 a week. This is
Yep, £50 a week, dude. If you're self-catering but you've got in a place, dude, if you put me in a flipping or took all the homeless people, if you took all the homeless people and said, right, mate, I'm putting you in a place, you've got shelter, you've got your own place, lock, key, a bed, a kitchen. It might be shared kitchen and bathroom, but you've got your own locked space. But we're giving you £50 a week to eat. You can eat on £50 a week, mate. You can eat £50 a week and still have change if you're wise. If you're cooking yourself, fresh vegetables and all of that, it doesn't cost you that if you're wise and you're living within your means, you know?
This is far less than a British person on the welfare state. So I don't think it's about what they're given. Actually, I think that's a myth, and I think the conditions that they live in are much harsher than most people realise. What I think
What,
there
a
is a big
four-star
factor-
hotel's harsh?
Well, by the time those hotels are turned into asylum hotels, believe me, they are not 4-star. That is not the
Let's agree
experience.
to disagree, but
That's not
I
the
don't need...
That's not the
Listen,
experience of living in one. But I think what we do need to look at is what are the pull factors, and I think there's two big pull factors. One is that they speak the English language, because we spent a couple of centuries going around the world colonizing it.
Oh, so this is what it's coming down to. Oh my God. This is what it's coming down to. It's coming down to the colonizing. So it's guilt. It's guilt is why this government is forcing this crap down our throats. Guilt.
Teaching everyone our language.
there's the reason that...
Yeah, white guilt. White guilt. Jesus Christ.
But I don't need...
That's not the
Listen,
experience of living in one. But I think what we do need to look at is what are the pull factors. And I think there's two big pull factors. One is that they speak the English language, because we spent a couple of centuries going around the world colonizing it and teaching everyone our language.
there's the reason that the Labour Party will forever
you may not
allow
like it, but
people to come
that's
to
the
this
reality.
country.
They've got a network of people that speak our language. And the other is that there is a black economy, and we need to deal with the black economy.
Mate,
I can't believe he's just said that openly. I mean, realistically, it's a good thing because it's exposing what the Labour Party is about and what we've been saying for ages. It's guilt. Guilt. You can't use it. Say specific words. Racism. You've got to let everyone in if you don't. Racism. We're colonisers. We're evil. Slavery. Reparations. All this crap. Done a video about reparations earlier on. If you've not seen it, check the video earlier on. It was Paz49 was speaking about it on X earlier on, and it's a video with Jacob Rees-Mogg and Iman Ayton demanding and arguing about reparations, and she made the claim that the Holocaust was good for the Jewish people. This is the kind of nonsense you hear from these people.
listen, we'll agree to disagree, but you've just said it. You've just said what I've always suspected is central to many people's view, is that, as you said, we went around the world colonising, and that's why we should accept. And listen, you have your right to your view. People listening will have their right to their view. What?
That is why it's a pull factor for them to come. They want to live in a country where they can speak the language, where they've already got...
But they don't speak the language. So again, it's more lies and lies and lies. You can't keep lying.
Half of them can't speak English when they... Come on,
what we need to do as well is ramp up... We need to ramp up the raids of illegal working.
Sam, you're not telling me a majority of migrants who come to this country can speak English, are you?
A lot of them come because they feel they can work better in the English language than they can in many other European languages.
Explain to me then why they don't bring their wives and children. There was a man from the Labour Party who used to be Chief Secretary to Keir Starmer called Darren Jones, who on Newsnight, because I was watching the programme, said that the right don't understand this. 90%, he said, of those boats are full of women and children. The biggest load of claptrap I've ever heard in my life.
Because... And I'm not saying we don't see women and children. We watched that video yesterday, didn't we? And we saw that man, the black dude, and he had the life jacket on, obviously coming over to Dover or wherever, Calais to Dover, and but he's carrying a child on a dinghy. Well, you're stupid for putting your child in that position, and if the boat sinks and that child dies, that's on you. If you're in France, I'm sorry, No, I would not risk my child's life. I just wouldn't.
If you, hear me out, if you were living in apparently this war-torn country, hear me out, right, and you had a wife and child, because I've desperately wanted to ask somebody from the Labour Party this for a long time, would you, A, bring your wife and child to make them safe, or would you, in fact, leave them there and cross 7 safe countries so that you came to England under the guise in your mind, Sam, that you speak the language or because we colonised your land?
Exactly.
They're coming here, mate, because we get... Why don't they stay in France? It's safe, because you said it yourself. You said, oh, asylum hotels aren't great. They're better than a French tent, aren't they, on the beach? We give too much, mate. And all I'm saying is...
It's pure white guilt. You can see it on the guy's face, like, we've got to give everything, because if you don't, you know what will happen. It's fear. I don't know why they're like this. I really don't.
In the past, maybe this doesn't sound right with you or sit right, but I think in the past, as a country, we did and do loads. But I have to put to all politicians this. We're skint. Inflation this morning, 2.9%. Over £100 billion a year on interest simply.
Someone asked me yesterday on X, it got me in trouble as it always does. They said, if you could change one thing, I'll ask all of you, the audience, put this in the chat. If you could change one thing in the United Kingdom, just one thing, one rule or one, it could be anything. It could be feed all of the homeless. It could be give everyone £1 million. It could be, what's the one thing that you would change for this country to make it better? And I said I would put up a block on anyone coming into the country for the next 10 years. That's what I said. Me, at the same time, deporting everyone who's illegal and doesn't belong here. I wouldn't, nobody can come in. Nobody. That's what I would do for the next 10 years. That's what I would do. And obviously it got me a lot of backlash, but that's how I feel.
To cover debts we can't afford. I'm not blaming you for those debts right now. I'm blaming all governments. What I'm saying is, and I can't get this phrase out of my head, and it's going to sound terrible and you're going to hate me.
That's a good point, UK lady. She says you can have an entire litter of German Shepherd dog spawn in England, but there's still German Shepherds. Exactly. I'll tell you what, speaking of that, UK lady, I've got a video we can do next that's kind of about that, about the ancestry and everything about England, what it means to be British. I watched a video about that the other day, so I'll find that and we'll do that next. Good shout.
Shouldn't we be looking at home first before we look abroad? Shouldn't we be saying to the people that you sit there in Bishop Auckland and say, oh, Brits aren't doing that badly, they're only getting £10 in migrant hotels. I went to Bournemouth and I put this out and people were like, oh my God, that's true. I went to Bournemouth 2 weeks ago and took my son for his driving test, a theory test. Bournemouth was full of young migrant men walking up and down, drinking, smoking and leering, to the detriment, don't care what you say, Harry Redknapp came on with me, completely agreed with me, to the detriment of what was once a beautiful town. That is not good for those people. I don't believe that those young men came here to build great lives. Where are their wives? Why did they throw their papers in the sea? And why, seemingly, with respect to you, Sam, are we, in the eyes of many, treating them better than we're treating our own voting, tax-paying public?
What confuses me about your question is you still seem to think that that there is a difference between you and me in the degree to which we want this to be happening. There's not. We both want there to be 0 small boats crossings. But you're asking the question, so why are they mostly men? I mean, firstly, that there are a lot of women and girls, but you are right. I think that there is a much higher proportion of young men. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that in a conflict situation, they tend to be the most likely to be killed and recruited. But also, it's because, as you know very well, a lot of these people are coming as economic migrants, or it's because they believe that if they make the dangerous crossing, they can then bring their family. And that's why one of the things this government has done, as I say, we need to disrupt the business model and make it less attractive. We have worked and got an agreement at the European Court of Human Rights called the Chenonceau Agreement, maybe you should cover it, where people cannot appeal to the right to a family life to bring family members in a way that they used to be able to do.
The right to a family life is a part of the ECHR that has to be eradicated and gone, because I've pointed this out countless times on here. So there was the case, and I'll have to get it to bring it up as reference, because it's always the case that I have to bring it up, where a guy came over from Sudan or Afghanistan or wherever he was, came to the UK illegally, got with an English woman, stayed with her for a year or 12 months, and he abused the girl. He sexually abused the daughter of the woman, right? Then he was sent to prison here and couldn't be deported. So this is an illegal migrant, came over, got with a woman, and sexually abused the child. Now, he couldn't be deported due to the ECHR because of what this man just said, the right to a family. So if you come to this country, you do have a right to have a family. Everyone does. But that was used in a sense of, I'm with this woman, you don't have the right to take me away from her. You just abused her child. So it's using the ECHR to overrule those things. That's why it needs to be rehashed, scrapped, whatever. I don't want any part of it.
That is one of the changes that we have made. Another thing that's important to note is the amount of people who come because they believe that they can work illegally, but there is a big black economy of illegal working. That's why we have increased immigration rates more than 100% since we came to power. So it's about getting rid of the reasons why they come. It's also about returning people. And
the one in, one out thing hasn't been a huge success.
No,
so far, we're at 5,300 in and about 10 out.
But something has to explain the 50% drop in small boat crossings this year. The reason why that's an important model, actually, is
I've not even, again, I've been away. I don't know the reason why there's been a drop in boats coming over, but what we've seen in the last month alone is less boats might be coming, but more people are coming on the boats that are coming. So is it whether there's been a crackdown on the boats? Is it that they're finding other ways in that we don't know about? Is it the case that the government are actually doing something and the numbers are just going down? Because the way I look at it, even from January till now, it's still higher than what it was last year. So you could say it's cracking down from what it would have been or was, but it's still not right. It's still having 230 men turning up on one day. Is it the weather? I don't know. It could be a number of things, but it's something that's something I will look into, because I don't know. And I would commend the government, as much as I don't want to, if they're doing something about it and actually listening to people, then yeah, I would sit here and go, well done for once. But I'm skeptical.
That people need to know that if you spend a lot of money coming over here, there's a very high risk that you could just be returned straight back to France. Do you know what used to work, Jeremy? There was a time where 100% of them would be returned back to France because we were in the Dublin Agreement. Boris Johnson chose to pull us out of that with his reckless botched Brexit deal. We've left the Dublin Agreement. We can't just return people in the way that we used to be able to. That is one of the reasons why we've seen this industry start up. Another thing we can't do, we used to be in Eurodac, which was an intelligence service sharing information. You mentioned that they throw their documents in the bin. They do, and some of them arrive with false stories, and we don't even know what countries they come from. When we were in Eurodac, we could take their biometrics and we could link that to the European computer, and we could see exactly what story they told in previous countries. We're no longer in that system. People in the Home Office are telling me that that is one of the single most important tools that they would have
I'm not trying to stop you, Sam, because genuinely I have the news, but that's one of the most interesting chats. And what I want to...
Right, okay, I'll leave that one there. I actually want to ask you a lot of questions. Do you guys ever watch this dude called Charlie? Is it Charlie Downs? Charlie Downs? Because I need to find a video, and I thought I'd saved it, but I haven't. And he does this thing where, like, he goes out in the street, you know, like a Turning Point used to do, where they go out in the street and then they debate me, prove me wrong kind of thing. I saw a video the other day and I can't seem to find it. Charlie, what's his name? Charlie Downs. And it's a street debate. Is that what I'm looking for? No? I can't remember what the video was called. The GB News reporter, right. Yeah, and I saw an interview the other day and he was debating with a woman what it means to be British. But I need to know what the channel is. I can't, that's what I'm looking for. I thought I'd saved the video, but clearly I haven't. In the meantime, I'll find what I was going to put on. He's in the US now. The video was over here. I've got to try and find out what it was called, yeah. Nikki, same old, same old. Yes, I know that feeling. Let's Right, I'll stick on something else and we'll go through another video while I find that. Because I do want to cover it because it was a flipping good video. But anyway, get your thoughts in on all the madness that we've had so far. I do have another one that I wanted to show you. I haven't seen this. This is Muslims are largely to blame, admits Imam who gives brutal verdict on anti-Islam hate surge in the United Kingdom. So this popped up, and I wanted to cover it with you guys to get your opinions on it. So let's see where we are. Let's see what we can see, my little buttercups. My little buttercup.
Statistics from the anti-Muslim hate monitoring group Tell Mama. They have basically seen reports of anti-Muslim hate and prejudice in London rising hugely in the first half of the year, having surpassed the total annual count for 2023 already. So already that high. They say it's a sustained escalation of anti-Muslim hate. It's 6 times higher in 2025 last year than in 2021. We're looking at 313 reports in 2021, it doubled to 818, well, more than doubled to 818 in 2022, and it rose each year to a record of 1,909 last year. And we've already seen 1,031 reports this year. Well, how bad is this? What is the cause of it? And what can we do to stop it? Because I think we can all agree, can we not, whether we're talking about hatred against gay people or whether it's against women.
I've just seen a really lovely comment. Hi, Starboy. It's been a while since we've spoken. How you doing, my friend? I feel so drained and angry, even going out and just looking and remembering what it was depressing. Maybe because I've had 2 hours sleep. It just seems never ending. Starboy, we need to keep on going, my friend. We need to keep on going. And I know that's me saying that, but we do. Anyone following Candace or just me? Yeah, I have been following that debate with Andrew Wilson. I just didn't think anyone else would care about it, but we can do that tomorrow if you want. Right, okay, let's just carry on.
Or whether it's against Jews.
English Rose, how you doing, my dear?
That massive spate of anti-Semitic attacks against Muslims as well, that absolutely any of this targeted hatred is unacceptable in our country. Let's talk about it with Dr. Tash.
I may offer a 10% discount on my Only Feet channel if you mention Gavin Ramon for the rest of August. What do you mean, Only Feet channel? What does that mean? If you've got nice feet, listen, I'm not saying you've got to send me photos because that's a bit creepy.
Okay, he's an imam. He's also director of the Oxford Institute for British Islam. A very good afternoon to you, Taj.
Hi there, how are you doing?
Thank you for joining us. So first of all, what do you think is the cause behind this rise in the report?
I'll tell you something. That's how a woman could get my attention. If she shows me pictures of nice toes and she says, no, let's not.
Of these anti-Muslim incidents.
I mean, clearly there's a rise in anti-Muslim prejudice and bigotry, but that's not the issue. You touched on it, Julia. Why is this happening? Okay, and I think Muslims themselves are largely to blame because they are always seeing themselves as a victim.
Yes,
and never seeing that them creating conditions that creates antipathy towards them. For example, we don't have the same degree of belligerency against Hindus or Sikhs. Why Muslims? And this is the issue. And I think this Tell Mama group.
Yeah, I've really missed the abuse, Simon.
And many others.
Thanks.
They're not looking really at the cause of the problem. And to me, it's always been the 3 M's. The mullahs, the mosques, and the madrasas.
I see a big thing earlier on about a woman had her hijab pulled off and it was on the news or something. She was out somewhere and someone went up and ripped off her hijab. It's not acceptable. I think it should be banned in England. That's besides the point. But you can't just go up to someone and physically assault someone. And I'm not talking about as in that's extreme violence, but you can't go up and grab someone. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, obviously the Muslims are going out on an outrage about this, and I'm like, okay, but that doesn't stop the fact that 200,000 girls have been abused. You know? So you can see, if you want to know why people feel the way they're feeling, there's 200,000 reasons and probably 26 incidents in the West in 2026 alone that have been terror attacks on our people. So I'd say there's justified reason as to why people feel the way they do towards that faith. That's not me spreading hate. It's just pointing out what's bloody obvious.
These priests and these mosques and these schools that indoctrinate children, they are talking about them and us. There's never about integration. And when you don't have any integration, clearly the rank and file, the majority.
Okay. I'm going to show you something.
You would be prone to antipathy
Right,
towards
so but there'll be a lot of people, not just Muslim people, a lot of people who would be very unhappy at the idea that if someone is shouting abuse or yanking at a Muslim woman's hijab or being, you know, just, or worse, being, you know, I mean, physically attacking someone because they are openly Muslim and therefore identifiable as Muslim, that they are...
You guys just asked me a question. It says here, where did it go? It says, what in the hell is it about sound engineers and feet? Okay, I'll show you. I've just found something and I will show you. How do I go to this again? Share this tab. There you go. There you go. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, hello. What? You asked me? I'm just saying.
Are responsible for that. One can disagree with lots of, you know, what's going on in lots of mosques. You could disagree with a lot of the so-called self-appointed Muslim community leaders and some of their, I think, pretty questionable views in this space, or some of the teachings of Islam. But that doesn't mean anyone has a right or a justification to abuse a Muslim person who's randomly walking past them on the street.
Right, clearly it doesn't justify that. But the point is, you know, why are Muslims living in Lala?
So after this then, all right, we've got 15 minutes left. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and get myself a drink and we're just going to go into a freak show for the last 15 minutes.
And to think that their behavior, their conduct,
you
for
asked
example,
for it.
How many Muslims know that the hijab, the head covering, is not a requirement of the Quran?
No.
They've been told, listen, you must have it, otherwise you don't go to heaven. So the point is, these priests, these mosques, these schools, they are conditioning people into this sort of them and us mentality. As long as Muslims are not part of the society and apart from it, as long as they're not fully integrated into the society, we will have more right-wingers or extremists or bigots from any community.
You're saying that creates that.
Them.
I mean, it is interesting. Of course, I suppose there's an element where it's not just obviously Muslims don't have to have particular skin colour, but a large number of Muslims in this country would be darker skinned than the average bit. But also clothing would delineate somebody as being of the Muslim faith, and that creates, to a certain extent, you're saying, some sort of separation. I mean, certainly the hijab, but I mean, but the burqa. Can I just? Sorry.
Okay, let me just come in there. I mean,
okay.
Clothing. There's no such thing as Islamic clothing.
Yeah, but,
I mean, so why are they bringing in the clothing from Pakistan or Saudi Arabia and saying, listen, this is Islamic, when there's nothing like that? All Islam asks you to be modestly dressed. It doesn't mean that you must have a shalwar kameez or some
don't wear a bikini in the street. I mean, you know,
right.
I certainly have. I mean, look, people. When I go to other countries, I'm still wearing. Again, if it's
where's Chattanooga? Where's that? TN, is that Texas? No, we haven't started nothing. But we're going to go into a freak show now because you lot started it. Right? So that was Sidney Sweeney when we was talking about what is it with men with feet. Who else do I like? I'll tell you who else. Hailey Bailey. I love this woman. She played Ariel in the remake of The Little Mermaid. And I'm not saying anything about women with their feet out. I'm not saying anything. I don't understand the fetish of why guys are into women with nice feet. Like, what is that about? They're just feet, aren't they? Like, why would guys be like that? And that's her putting her feet on some guy's face. Like, why would she do that? I would never want her to do that to me. And like, she's showing her toes there, like her soles and the curve and everything else. I'd never want her to do that in front of me. I don't look at her and think to myself what I would give to be with her. I don't. That's not what I do. So when it comes to that stuff, I really don't understand what the fetish is with guys into all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. I do not know. And do not diss her, Ben. She's beautiful, mate. She is beautiful. I mean, you're the one who was sitting here, mate, talking about Liz Truss being sexy. So you can't judge what I find attractive. Yeah, I know, Rex. I would. Of course, I would. She's beautiful, man. Yeah. So, wedding with Jack Daniels. Nice. I do love Jack Daniels. I do. Diane Abbott. No, Nikki. Behave. Who's the other woman I like as well? There was some woman popped up on my timeline and I was like, oh my God, I remember her and I really liked her. I can't remember who it was now. Oh yeah, Vanessa White. Let's see if Vanessa White's got nice toes. From, what's that girl group? Vanessa, is it Vanessa White? Is that her name? I think that's her. Yeah, that's her. Vanessa White, this lady. I love this girl. Love's a strong word, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm attracted to this lady. She was in a girl group called the Saturdays. Yeah, I don't understand why women. Who's that other one? Vanessa Hudgens. Hudgens. See, I don't get it. What's the fascination with women with feet? Like I don't look at that and feel nothing. I don't like. They're just feet, aren't they? I don't look at her toes and go, "Oh my God," you know. I don't look at that picture and think, you know. So maybe someone in the chat could explain to me what the fascination is with that kind of stuff, because I'm not someone that's into all of that at all. It's not my thing. It's not. Trust me, if women have got nice feet, it's game over. Game over. Ah, Rona Mitch was nice. Species, be quiet, be quiet. No, I don't like Hobbit's feet. If I like Hobbit's feet, UK lady knows. Trust me, this is the way I look at it, right? You're going out on a date with a woman, and she's dressed up nice, and just like UK lady says, she's got some nice shoes on. It's summer, and she's got them white toes. You've already won the World Cup. It's game over. It works. It does the trick. It sets the mood, you know? All right, so how do we want to finish the show? Because we're not live again until next Monday. So you lot can pick something we do for the next 10 minutes. Nikki, shut up. Be quiet. All right, horror films. Great idea. Great idea, UK lady. We'll talk about new movies and things that we've seen this year. So you were saying that you'd seen Evil Dead. Is it Burn? Is that the new one? Yeah, Ben, we will. Pigs in Blankets podcast will start again very soon. That will come out. I'll have to figure out the times that we'll do it, because I think it was a bit awkward before just because of life and everything, but we'll figure out like the best time to record, and then it will come out instantly. So if it was tomorrow, we would have recorded it tonight. It comes out tomorrow. Like, do it. We need to have a thing which is a day before, so we can be very, very up to date with stuff. Pigs in Blankets was a podcast I was doing with Ben. Evil Dead Burn, yes, it was a cinematic masterpiece, but so different from the rest. I really, really didn't like it. I appreciate when someone enjoys a movie, but for me, the new Evil Dead movie that's come out, I think, is it part 5? Is Evil Dead Burn part? Is it Evil Dead 5? It's the 5th film. It is. It's the 5th film. Fair enough. You enjoyed it as well, Rex. Well, there you go. See, it's to each their own. I just really didn't like it because to me, it was more just throwing monsters and everything about in the movie without it really saying anything. Whereas the originals it had a motive, a story. It just didn't work for me. I only watched maybe an hour, and I hated it. And I'm not like that with Evil Dead. I really like the Evil Dead movies. I just couldn't get into it. But again, in my defense, maybe it's just because things have been going on with me in life that maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mental state to be watching it. Speaking of which, I always talk about, because as you can see, the beauty of what we've got all over here of all my babies and all my babies look at them. Look at them. Let's just have them on show for a minute. Yeah, look, I mean, how wonderful is this? Look, let's just have a little bit of a geek out for a sec. Look, how amazing is that? The Terminator original VHS. Look at that. That's one of my favourite video covers of all time. I don't know why. It's just so bloody cool, isn't it? Look at that for a video cover. Look at it. It's just bloody awesome. Yeah, so down here, I mean, the majority of you know anyway. Down here, we've got Freddy versus Jason. We've got Jason Voorhees down here. We've got Nightmare Freddy, 18-inch Freddy Krueger. That's from New Nightmare. Obviously, at the end there, you can't really see her, but that's Valak, the nun from the Conjuring universe. We've got Chucky here, and then my baby girl, Annabelle, and they all watch over me whilst I sleep right there. And my head is normally up that end, like that end up there, so I can look at all of them. Isn't that cute? So let me just show you how I have the lights when I go to sleep. Echo, turn off studio lights. Okay, thank you. Right, I'll show you what I do. There we go. So the lights are normally the lights are like this. Let me just move a few bits. Come on, lights. Echo, turn on lights. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of how I have it. So, and then I put the one at the back. I normally have the one over there red as well. Let me just, so you can get like kind of the vibe, if you like. There you go. That's yeah, that's the look I go for when I go to bed. That's my nighttime relaxing vibe. So if you want to come over, UK lady, I mean, I know you was talking about coming over and having your toes out. I'm not saying I'm into that kind of thing because I think it's a bit weird that guys fantasize about women with nice feet. So I'm not saying that you should come here and sit on there and do things with your feet. I'm not saying that because I think that's just wrong. I'm not saying that. But if that was your intention, you should throw it out there, throw it out there. And I'm not saying, right. But anyway, back to horror. God, feet. Oh, look, just say hello to Xenomorph. Oh, look at you. Oh, you're so cute. You're right next to me, aren't you? Hey, hi. Where are we? Right, so we was talking about a couple of things we can discuss. The Hellraiser game, I'm excited about and not excited about. Hellraiser, I'm a fanatic for. As you can see, we've moved them all. I forgot because I had a little bit of a move around. Where have we put everyone? The Chatterer is over there. Pinhead is still, he's under my TV. He's under my TV, so I'm always looking at him just in case. And then obviously, where are you? Oh, we've got the. I know. So we've got the Laments configuration from Hellraiser 1986, obviously, because we love it. And then we've got the Laments configuration from Hellraiser 2022. Obviously with Jamie Clayton, who played the Hell Priest. But let's just have one little more. How cool is this little bobblehead? I know we've seen him before. I know we've seen this before, but look at this little dude. Oh, you such a little cutie. You are. Right, so we've agreed that UK lady's coming over because she wants to see all of this closer and show her feet to all of the toys. I don't know why. But no, the Hellraiser game I'll probably get, but my hopes are not like sky high. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. There was another question. Ever seen The Borrowers in your place? No. Where was we with the... Oh, I know. The Xenomorph. Where was we? Leave it out, Ben. Where was we? There was another question. Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I love them. I really love them. I didn't want him to remake him because obviously he done House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Free from Hell, which came out later. But when he got the contract to do the remake of Halloween, I was like, you shouldn't really touch that. And I still stand by that no one should touch those movies. Nightmare on Elm Street, Evil Dead, like those classic horror movies. I don't think you should go back. And The Exorcist, I know they're doing a film or a TV series at the moment, and it's done by the same guy who done House on The Haunting of Hill House, which is on Netflix, which I forgot the guy's name who does them all. But the TV series that he does on Netflix are 10 out of 10. Like, there's some of the best horror TV shows that have ever been made. They're just brilliant, brilliant shows. But the point is, he's moving more towards... He done The Invisible Man, the remake of The Invisible Man, and I was like, that was brilliant. It was a brilliant movie because it was more of a... Well, it was a straight-up horror. It was great. But I'm in two minds when it comes to... what was the one I just said that he's doing? The Exorcist. Because The Exorcist, I've got... well, where is it? I've moved... The Exorcist one is up there on the wall. That's probably my favourite horror movie of all time. Just, yeah. So, right, where are we? See, once you should get me talking about horror, I'll just waffle. The new Insidious film. I want to see the new Insidious movie. Definitely. Band of Brothers. Oh, nice, Rex. Nice. Do you know what? I really liked it. I didn't think I would. Lee Cronin's Mummy. I enjoyed it. Not perfect, but I thought it was a good film because it was a different take on the Mummy, and it didn't go too. It just didn't go too Hollywood. It was more. It had that indie type of feel to it. I like those types of horror movies. Perhaps it could have been a bit more darker, but overall, I think it's a good horror film. Yeah, it's a good horror film. I'd say my favourite horror movie of the year, which you're all going to absolutely rinse me about because I'm kind of showing my weaker side now, is honestly, other than the fact that I love sucking toes and UK lady's going to come and put hers in my face, other than that, my favourite horror movie this year isn't even scary, but it's by far my favourite because I love the guy in it. It's the remake, again, which kind of contradicts everything I was just saying. It was the remake of Dracula by Luc Besson, who done Leon. Obviously, we know the film Leon. Leon the hitman, Leon, and Leon the professional. Have I lost weight? Yes, I have. Thanks. Leon. So his version of Dracula. It's very, very similar to Bram Stoker's Dracula in the 90s with Gary Oldman. The story, I know the story's the same because it's Bram Stoker's Dracula, but I'm saying, but the way that it's told and the way it's portrayed on screen is very, very similar to the one with Gary Oldman. But this has got an actor in it who I'm obsessed with called Caleb Laundrie Jones. And he's such an incredible actor. He's so quirky. He's so weird, but he's so passionate and romantic. And the way that he portrays Vlad Dracul, the way that he portrays the character is so, what's the word? You feel his pain. You feel his need for Mina. You feel his compassion. And I think it's just because I like him as an actor, it worked for me. And I can understand a lot of people might watch the newer version and go, well, we've seen it all before, which is kind of how I behave when I do watch remakes. But because I like the actor, it swayed me to be more favourable, is probably the right word. I want to see film more about Count Orlok. Yeah, Count Orlok. Isn't Count Orlok is in Nosferatu. That is because Nosferatu was based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is obviously the same film, but the original Nosferatu that came out in 27 or whatever it was, they couldn't use Dracula because of the copyright and Bram Stoker's. So Count Orlok is basically Dracula because we all know that it's Dracula. It's the same story. But yeah, that's what Nosferatu is. He's wearing a muumuu. I don't know what that is. You're talking about the two girls in Bram Stoker's Dracula. There's three girls. You mean when Keanu Reeves is in the room and they appear through the sheets? Oh, my good God. What a way to go, you know? Oh, what a way to go. And you know, one of those is... what's that actress's name? She was in James Bond. Not No Time to Die. She was in Spectre. Is she French or Italian with the black hair? She was in The Matrix, but only for a little bit. I think it's the second Matrix films, and she plays the vampire's wife. And she says, "I want to kiss you." Her. I forgot her name. My dad loves her, but she's in it. Oh, with Caleb and Andrew Jones. Oh, you're talking about, oh my God. Give me some blood, I'll do anything you want. Her. Oh my God. Yeah, did my nuts rattle. My God. Oh, the German Nosferatu. Amazing. Yeah, I'd love some of that. But yeah, I could talk forever when it comes to horror. And as you can see, the people don't really care. I know you guys don't mind, but the majority of people kind of leave because they're not interested in horror. But no, I could talk about horror forever. MK Ultra is real. I don't know what that is. Ain't that the zombie thing? I can't remember. What are we on about? What are we on about? Anyone hook me up with Britney? Really? Britney Spears? No, don't be silly. Yuck. No, you have to live stream the Hellraiser game. When is it out, Rex? Let's have a look now. I'll do it. I don't mind. Hellraiser game date. October the 8th. All right, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do that. October the 8th. Yeah, I'm in two minds. The reason I'm like that is because I've seen some of the trailers for the game, and it looks like they're making it a bit of a shooter game and all that. I'm like, that's not Hellraiser. No one in Hellraiser runs around with a gun. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. I'd rather it have been a bit more, less action and more story driven. Kind of like the Alien Isolation game. It needs to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it needed to be like that, where it's not you escaping and running from the Cenobites, but a story that's driven by you investigating what it is. And if it's a run and gun game, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, Gavin doesn't. Of course, I do conspiracy theories. Which one do you want to cover, Nikki? Yeah, more of an intellectual challenge. Like, do I pull the sock down this side? Do I pull it down that side so we see the heels first? Or do I just let you do it in front of me and let me watch? Like, it's up to you. It's up to you. Have you not seen the trailer for 89 Isolation yet as well, Gavin? No? 89. What is that? Isolation. Don't know what that is. All right. Well, you're talking about Candice again, aren't you? You and Candice. My goodness. Is Isolation 89? Do you mean Isolation 2? Is that what you want about, Rex? Because I'm not sure if that's what you mean. Okay, it is. Oh yeah. No. I watched about 10 seconds and turned it off. I'm not like you. I told you, bro. I can't watch trailers. I don't want to know nothing. More so, it's like, yeah, I'll watch a tiny bit and then I'll be like, nope. I don't want to know any gameplay. I don't want to know nothing. Beyond the Ice, John Torrington, 1846. What? Beyond. Right, 1 minute. Beyond the Ice, 1880. What was it? 1846 expedition. Let's have a look. I don't know what you're all telling me here. Expedition. Oh. John Torrington. Oh, interesting. So hang on a minute. Is it a like a documentary or is it? All right. Yeah. That's a great idea. What's the game, Rex? Wait, 1846 expedition. John Torrington. John. You'll have to get me the link to the one that you want me to cover or watch. 1988. I see. Buried in Ice. That one? We'll watch the whole thing on here. I won't do it now, but we'll do that Friday. Beyond the Ice. Yeah, I found it. No, no. Wait. Beyond. I've got Buried in Ice, not Beyond the Ice. Okay. I know Vigilante was good. It was good. Right, I'm going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. I shall be back live on Monday. I'm going to try and I'm doing a video for Friday at 7 p.m. about, I've got two ideas, and one of them is about, I don't really want to go into it at the minute because I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, I've got ideas for a video Saturday at 7, or I might go live and we might do this Buried in Ice, Beyond the Ice thing. Yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed myself. Go and watch the video from earlier on. Yes, exactly, feet. And I can't concentrate now. And video tomorrow. There's going to be a video out tomorrow at 4 p.m. and then 7 p.m. on Friday. So thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, UK lady and feet. I'm going to leave it there. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lovely evening.